This episode of Nothing Important is brought to you by First Base and Beyond, the hilarious new book that defines the bases and expands the baseball metaphor for getting laid. A perfect gift for the holidays, bachelor parties, or just to have around to settle debates. Ever wonder what getting to third base really means? Get First Base and Beyond by going to www.firstbaseandbeyond.com. That's firstbaseandbeyond.com. Some of the proceeds also go to Save the Tatas. Firstbaseandbeyond.com. Copywritten by Bryan of the Nothing Important Podcast. That's awesome. That's an awesome story.
That's my screen test.
No, that had everything. They had suspense, action, Bill Murray in a golf cart. Like, come on, that's about as good as a story as you could have told.
Scary. It was because
You're listening to Nothing Important. Please enjoy the show. That's great. That works.
See, I was going to do an intro there, Dave, and the way that you looked at me totally threw me off a loop.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But this is the Nothing Important Podcast. My name is Bryan, and with me, as always, is my buddy Dave. Dave, how's it going, bud?
I'll tell you what, Bryan, I've been on a hell of a Simpsons kick lately.
You have?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a big Simpsons fan, man. See, I'm one of the few old school Simpsons fan who still watch the newer episodes.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
See, I get that. I mean, but after what, 30 years or whatever it's been now, it's not going to be the same show.
I think it's been 72 years.
It's been pretty goddamn long, right?
Yeah, it's like the bicentennial's coming up, I think, next year.
But they've kind of come back around though. The newer episode, like there's stuff that they do that would never in a million years would have been done during like the way back classic parts of the
there's
series.
stuff they did back then they couldn't do now. Homer used to choke Bart all the time.
Yeah. You know what? That's one of the things, though, that they actually still keep intact.
Yeah?
Which is nice to see, because they didn't kowtow, but I think they're kind of grandfathered in. Right?
Yeah.
Like, they're grandfathered in, and it's just the way the Simpsons are.
Well, I often wonder if I watch those old seasons of The Simpsons now, would I think they're as funny? Or is it just because I was a kid? Because I was 10 years old when the show started.
Right.
You know, so, and I think that seasons basically 3 through 9 are amazing.
And it was such a big deal, too, when it came out. I remember in our small little town, there's this store called Ed's Midtown Mart. And I remember we would go there and you buy candy. You get, like $1 from your parents.
Drive by the school.
Drive by the school.
Or on the way to school.
But I remember back then they actually had Simpsons Illustrated magazine.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was such a big deal. My first ever detention was in 5th grade because I had a Bart Simpson folder of him holding a slingshot.
It said underachiever and proud of it, didn't it?
No, it said eat my shorts.
Ah.
Yeah, and Mrs. Gergen, my 5th grade teacher, gave me a detention and took my folder.
Mrs. Gerg.
Mrs. fucking Gergen.
I had the underachiever and proud of it shirt, and I was not allowed to wear it in school.
Yeah, bullshit, right?
Yeah.
That was so controversial.
Yeah.
And now you can wear like a fucking like you can wear a fucking
you wear like a string bikini and a thong.
Right.
You know.
Right, because now if you try to reprimand a kid for, especially a female, for wearing a certain type of clothes, now it becomes like some big fucking social issue.
Yeah, I mean, oppressing.
Yeah.
Y'all are brutalizing me.
It's my body. I wear what I want.
Whatever. So, the whole Simpsons thing, I have to throw this by you. 20 years later, I was watching season 6, 1995.
Okay.
Okay, you remember the 2001 Greyhounds episode?
Refresh my memory.
Where Santa's little helper gets loose and he knocks up the race dog.
Yes.
And they give birth to all the puppies.
Right. Save my vest or something. Right?
Yeah. So that's the song, See My Vest. Okay.
Right.
So there's a line.
Or Be My Vest.
No, See My Vest.
Or See My Vest.
See My Vest. So I was working. Doing like a laborious kind of a job. I had it on in the background. It was mostly
laborious, if you will.
Laborious. Mostly listening to it. But,
right.
So when you're in that kind of mindless job, your brain can kind of, things will pop in, the shampoo effect, as some people call it.
Right, yeah.
So I got shampoo affected in that song where he's singing the line, like my loafers, former gophers. It was that or skin my chauffeurs. And I never understood what the fuck other than a rhyming scheme that meant. And it hit me. A chauffeur is a gopher.
Is it?
It's a homonym. Like, when somebody goes and gets shit for you, you call them a gopher.
Like my loafers, former gophers.
It was that or skin my chauffeurs.
Okay.
So he would have made his chauffeurs into the shoes, the loafers, because chauffeurs are gophers. See? It's a pun that I didn't get for 20 freaking years.
Nice. Isn't that amazing how that happens?
I know, right?
Right. That's like the story of my life, because remember, it took me years to understand what the hell we were talking about. Like two guys walk into a bar and the third one ducks. And I'm like, I really don't understand what the hell that is.
Blazing Saddles just did that to me too.
Explain.
When they said you was hung, and he goes, and they was right.
Right, because it's the black guy hung like a noose, but like he was lynched, and then because of his dick size.
Yes, because black guys, they said he was hung, and they was right. And for many, many, many years, I never got that joke. And then like last year, it hit me like
oh,
I gotcha.
Like your food with a little extra kick? Try Cuban Sriracha, hot sauce by the Pepper Jelly Company out of Miami, Florida. Cuban Sriracha is an artisan sriracha with a Cuban flair will spice up any dish. A family recipe passed down from the Diaz family right to yours. You can taste the tradition and the heat. Pick up your bottle of Pepper Jelly Company's Cuban Sriracha at www.pepperjellycompany.com. That's www.pepperjellycompany.com.
So you've been rewatching Better Call Saul?
Yeah, actually I have, and I kind of like it more.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it when I was using Halo to see European Netflix. I watched like a good first half of the season again. It definitely is better the second time around.
Yeah, you pick up on some things. I caught a couple of Breaking Bad jokes, I think. And just the performances are like Michael McKean is pretty damn solid as Chuck.
Yeah, he was on Adam Carolla's show yesterday.
Oh, really? Promoting the show?
Yeah, totally.
Nice. We'll get him.
But I that'd be a good one for you. That'd be a good one for you too, because he was also on Spinal Tap.
Yeah, exactly. And he's in I think all those movies, those like satirical documentary.
Yeah, was that your phone ringing?
Yeah, I was getting a text message.
Oh, gotcha.
That was Tom. He's like, "Is it too late?" I'll tell him he can come up if he wants to.
If he wants, why not?
Yeah, I got it set up.
I don't want to. Huh?
I got it set up, so.
Oh, gotcha. So, thinking about the show though is much like the first 9 episodes were super good, but I'm still kind of wonky on that ending.
I got to watch the ending again.
It just kind of ended on a really odd note. It wasn't like a bad episode. It was just like oddly paced, and seemed like it was an episode that they were supposed to show like 3 weeks prior or 2 weeks prior. Yeah. Because the episode before the last episode, I remember being really good. And the last episode, it wasn't like a letdown. It wasn't like, man, that sucks. It just was, they raised the bar. It's like they plateaued just a little too soon.
Right. Yeah, they peaked. Well, maybe they designed that though. They kind of peaked then came, because you have to have your build up, then your peak, and then you have to have your resolution. So Tom's with us now.
Hello, sir.
Hey, how's it going?
Not bad. How you doing?
So Brian, Tom is the composer and performer of our theme song.
Yeah. By the way, great work.
Oh, thanks, man. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate the opportunity.
I don't know if it's much of an opportunity for you, but it's definitely awesome. I really like it a lot.
Well, thanks. I'm looking forward to. I know me and Dave were talking about the idea of every so often changing the way it sounds, like making it a reggae song or a rock song or blah blah blah.
Yeah, I'm on board for that. Totally. I'm pretty easygoing guy. I'm not too Nazi-ious about this stuff. Like, And plus, like, I don't play any instruments and I can't sing, so like I'm always amazed by people that have some sort of musical ability.
Well, I can't sing either, as me and Dave found out with our auto-tuning experience. Holy
Well,
shit.
I'm not gonna lie. I heard the original cut and it sounded way better without the auto-tune effect.
Yeah.
Well, as long as we say it's a comedy song, then that way I get away with a lot of the mistakes there.
No, I thought it sounded fine, but Dave knows I like a basic like lo-fi.
Yeah, he would have been
Kinda
totally
sound.
fine with a little bit, if it's a little bit off pitch, you know, it just makes it
Yeah.
sound more like we had a hand in it, I guess you would say.
It's more realistic that way.
Yes.
No, cool. Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. I had a lot of fun doing it. I want to do more of it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
What I'm doing right now is I'm looking at the season 2 promotional art on the AMC Press website. And I'm always confused. And one thing I never looked in, I got to, I guess, email our press rep. But I'm not sure which of these I can use. Like, for example, I'm looking at stuff that's like a picture for episode 3. And I'm not sure if I can ever use it. But it doesn't really show anything. All it is like Mike walking in front of a car down a dark street. So it's not like...
On the website or something you're saying,
We
using
have-
the picture?
We have press access to certain photographs and stuff. They're publicity photos.
And so what are you using the photos for? Is it on like the podcast website?
Yeah,
or something?
well, what we use it for is nothing, actually. We don't use it for anything.
Right.
I would say, though, if we were to use them, I guess you would kind of use that picture to promote episode 3. Keep it episode per
Yeah.
episode.
I see.
Yep, exactly.
By the way, if Michael joins us, you have to ask him, when does he die? Because I realize he's not in Breaking Bad, so he has to die.
He's not. Is he a red shirt?
good.
Is that what goes on? He's a Star Trek red shirt?
Yeah. Ensign Nacho.
Ensign Nacho, yes. Please escort Captain Riker to the alien landscape.
It'd be
Tom,
Captain
do you watch Better Call Saul?
I unfortunately do not have cable, so I just found out from Dave that it's available on Netflix now, so I'll go home and check it out.
Right, and who doesn't have Netflix nowadays, right?
Yeah, that's it costs $7 as opposed to $100, so that's the one I
Right.
choose.
Yeah. And it's on your
Netflix-
phone.
Yeah. What's that?
Netflix is just one of those things where I guess I didn't see the big picture. Like I've told the story on our other show before that when the first time I saw a cell phone with a camera on it, I was like, "Oh, that's fucking stupid. Who the hell would want a camera on their cell phone?" And now I can't imagine having a cell phone without a camera. And then Netflix was very much the same way. I was like, "Well, fuck that. I'll just go to the video store and rent stuff if I want it."
Sure.
And then they started streaming movies, but when they first started streaming movies, I was like, "Oh wow, that's super fucking awesome. A bunch of B movies that nobody would ever fucking watch. You can watch streaming on Netflix."
Right. You're like, it's like
And,
streaming Me TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'm the only one that gets that joke.
Because they're reruns.
It's all old shit.
We know. We got it, Dave. God damn it.
Okay. I expected harder laughs.
You didn't give us a chance to respond.
No, I cracked myself up too much.
Yeah, you're talking about
Brian
MeTV,
leaves?
like the shitty Chicago channel, right?
Yeah.
I think it was maybe because I was swearing. Maybe swearing's not a good idea.
Swearing is perfectly acceptable.
Oh, really?
It's an explicit podcast, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, in fact, many of our guests, when they find that out, they relax a lot and start to curse a lot.
That's awesome.
They feel the freedom.
Okay, good, because
Yeah.
Can you hear me,
Oh,
Dave?
he probably got clicked
Dave,
over
can you
to
hear
our
me?
guest.
I would turn on my teacher.
Hey, coffee drinkers. Why are you standing in line paying way too much for fast food coffee? Get yourself some real coffee from Tugboat Coffee. Tugboat Coffee is real, direct trade, specialty coffee roasted by master roaster and founder Eric Barkley. I know he does it. I've seen him myself. No more paying $20 for a shot of espresso and a bunch of sugar milk. Get real artisan coffee at www.tugboatcoffee.com. That's www.tugboatcoffee.com. All right, Dave, you there?
I'm here.
All right. All right, we got Michael on the phone. Yeah,
Insert applause in post.
yeah, Michael, we're we're glad we finally got you. For anybody that's listening right now, has probably heard that, me talk about with past episodes and interviews. I have a habit of hanging up on our guest and then having to recall, but you are the first guest that's inadvertently hung up on us a few times. So congratulations, my friend.
I'm glad I'm the first at something.
Right?
It's all good man thing.
Yeah.
It's all good, man. That's right.
Well, Michael, we're definitely glad that you're on the show. I've spent the better part of the off season harassing you on Twitter. You finally responded. We made it happen. And I'm absolutely glad to have you here. I'm so glad you came on our little podcast to chat with us tonight.
Well, thank you so much. We're all so glad of the way you guys have been covering the show. And, we have no show without people like yourselves to spread the word, to support us, to, give us feedback and to encourage us. So thank you. And I'm very happy to be on the show. Ray and Patrick have been on this, and they've told me that it's been a pleasure. Oh. And I'm pretty sure that I'll find it as pleasurable as they have.
Great. I'm so glad to hear that. We also have a special guest in house. We have a gentleman by the name of Tom. He's a musician from Joliet, Illinois. Dave told him that we were going to speak with you, and he thought it'd be interesting. So I hope you don't mind that Tom's sitting down and chatting with us today.
Absolutely not. Hey, Tom, how are you?
Not bad. How's it going?
Good. What kind of instruments you play?
Mostly just like, the typical rock stuff. I'm a bass player. I play a little guitar, ukulele, some drums, that kind of thing.
Everything.
Oh, awesome. Multi-talented.
All the fun stuff, right?
Oh, good for you, man. That's great.
Yeah, we were actually just talking about, he wrote the theme song that we're going to debut when season 2 starts. We're debuting a new theme song for our podcast. Tom actually wrote it and played the guitar on it.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it. Please tag me in it.
Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely. We sure will. So before we get talking about season 2, which everybody is super excited for, I know Dave and I are pumped. We got a lot of our listeners that are pumped and excited for us. But I just found out that you broke your foot.
You know what? It's not broken. I'm very, very lucky. I thought it was a break because I heard it crack.
Oh.
But it's just a really bad sprain, and we're just kind of afraid that there's complications. So I was just at the hospital, and that's kind of why I missed the phone call at first because we got out late. But I think it's just going to be a sprain. The X-rays turned out positive that there's nothing broken. So it was just playing soccer.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, well we're glad that you're all right.
No, I feel like an asshole harassing you coming out of you're trying to get better, and we're like, come talk on a podcast, damn it.
I told the doctor I had to go. He was mid-surgery, and I said, I can't miss this podcast.
Mid-surgery.
I've got blood all over me. And
probably better off if Bryan was under anesthesia, but hey-o.
His reaction was probably like, what's a podcast? Because we run into that a lot, too.
Yeah.
No, you guys are great.
So, season 2, very excited to see the return of Nacho. In the first season, Nacho was a very mild-mannered and stoic character. It didn't seem like he had a lot of fluctuations in his external emotions. So season 1, when you're creating the character, was there any sort of influence or inspiration for how you handled the character of Nacho?
Well, I think it all came from the text. They wrote a character who listened a lot and spoke very rarely. And when he spoke, it was very to the point. So I think that sort of, you kind of as an actor have to start understanding, what kind of character, what kind of person listens more than they talk. And what I found really interesting is in the first season, episode 3, that is called Nacho, there's that interrogation scene. And he's pissed as hell, and he wants to rip Jimmy's head off. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't say anything for about 2 minutes. Yeah. He just listens to Jimmy going into a monologue. And for someone to be so angry and not react for 2 minutes while the person that he wants to kill walks into the door and just let him go and go and go and go and gather as much information as possible. From that, you kind of deduce a character, and that's kind of how Nacho found his footing. But in season 2, we get to he finds himself in a very how do I say, a very dangerous situation, and we start finding cracks in his armor, and we start seeing his vulnerability, we start seeing his temper. He starts sort of losing control a little bit, and we reveal a little more of his inner dilemmas and inner struggles.
Awesome, because that means you get to kind of expand on your acting chops too and tap into different sides of the character. That must be exciting.
Oh,
for
absolutely.
you.
I mean, it's a slow burn. You know, you don't want to rush it.
Right.
You don't want to rush in too quick. But it's been a blast this season. Stakes are so much higher. The tension is so much higher. We've got a lot going on, and a lot of storylines crisscrossing, and it's just been a blast. We've got some great Breaking Bad Easter eggs. Our
Nice.
jaws just dropped when we found out who was going to be on the show.
Oh man, screw you, Dave.
What?
Micheal, 2 weeks ago, Dave and I were recording our first official show of the second season, and Dave predicted that nobody from Breaking Bad would show up. So screw you, Dave.
That's okay. I thought I misheard, but yes. Okay.
Well, we're going to have Easter eggs every season. You know, you're going to.
Right.
You can't help it. It all happens in the same season. I mean, it all happens in the same city. And it only happened, 5-6 years before.
Mm-hmm.
And every season we're getting closer and closer to that moment Saul Goodman met Walter White.
Right.
Just a matter of time before, God knows who will show up, because you just have to. And we also know that Mike at some point has to meet Gus. So there's just so many things. And we know that Jimmy and Nacho screw up the cartel in one way or another. They're involved in something, because in Breaking Bad it's revealed that Jimmy puts the blame on. He thinks that Walter White and Jesse Pinkman, when they have a gun to his head, Jimmy thinks that it's the cartel.
Right.
And his line is, "It wasn't me. It was Ignacio. Ignacio did it."
Right. Yeah, I remember.
So we have to get into all that stuff. Yeah.
Do you find it difficult that your character wasn't in Breaking Bad, but your character is now a major part of the events that lead up to Breaking Bad? So you don't really have like an end game to pull from and create a beginning for. You're kind of going the opposite direction. Is it a little bit different process for you than your other cast members because you don't have an end story?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's definitely challenging, because you don't know where your character is kind of like in my own POV, it's kind of like a wild card. But I think it's fun, because it's kind of like a roller coaster ride, and you don't know where it's going to turn. And you kind of feel that you are living the part, because from, episode to episode, as they're writing it while we're shooting it.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of feel that, you're sort of writing your own destiny, and you have to be very careful. That's maybe another reason why Nacho's so careful, because the stakes for him are extremely high. And when you find yourself in a room filled with sharks, you want to tread very carefully, but you also want to end up on top. And it takes a lot of restraint. It takes a lot of restraint to be in this criminal business and to survive for a long time.
See, and that's the thing about Better Call Saul is we all know how Saul ends up, and it's just a method of getting there. So Dave and I, all last season, like every episode, we're like, oh, this is going to be it. This is going to be the episode where he's officially Saul, because we didn't even believe Jimmy McGill was his actual name. Like, we thought that was like a front. And like, just the slow burn of it all. You guys do a great job, I feel, of not jumping into it too quickly. I mean, hell, it's already been one season, and Saul Goodman, for all intents and purposes, has only just been hinted at, and all the characters are just now getting established.
Yeah, absolutely. And that goes to the great writing, Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould, Thomas Schnauz and Jennifer Hutchinson, Gordon Smith, and everybody in that team. They're just such wonderful writers, and, everything has a meaning. Every word means something. Every pause means something. Every color in your costume means something. And as an actor, it's the greatest treat where you can do all that detective work and try to deduce, what your character's psychology and where you're at, scene by scene.
So do you have any interesting stories about either the audition process or how you found out you got the role? Because so far between Patrick Fabian, Ray Seahorn, and Julianne Emery, even the story of like when they found out they were on the show was like hilarious or awkward, or it was something just kind of different. Like there's something special about this group of this production team that just like everybody is like really enjoys and appreciates the experience of even auditioning for or getting the notification that they got the role.
Well, I can tell you about I don't know if this is going to be a funny story, but to me it was sort of heart pounding. I don't know how entertaining it's going to be. I'll give it a go. But when I was invited to screen test in front of Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould and Melissa Bernstein in LA, it was my second time ever in LA, and I had only been in Los Angeles for about maybe a day for interviews for a video game called Far Cry 3. And then the second time I ever gone to was that day for the screen test. And I remember the taxi driver that picked me up at the airport said, he was asking me what I did, and I told him I was an actor, and he kept looking back. He goes, "Are you famous?" I go, "I don't think so, or else you would know who I was." And he asked me what I was here for, and I said I was here for a screen test. And he said, "They don't fly anybody in for a screen test. You must be more than background performer for them to fly you over for a screen test. That's a very, very big deal. You shouldn't take it lightly." And I said, "Absolutely, I'm not taking it lightly at all." And then pressure started building from there. And then my agent called and said, "Whatever you do, don't be late." And I said, "Absolutely not." And I didn't know about LA traffic.
Oh
shit.
Yeah, I didn't know. And I Googled the thing the night before, and I said, okay, the taxi driver's got some pressure on. My agent told me, no, don't be late. She reminded me about 2-3 times. And I Googled it the night before. It says, about 15 minutes from the hotel.
yeah, it's like
And
3 hours.
the day that I leave, I'm about 10 minutes, 15 minutes late, and I'm still in the car. And I'm thinking, oh, my God, I'm never going to get a shot at this. And when I get to the Sony studios, and I run, first time ever on the Sony lot, and I'm running, on that paved brick road that was in Wizard of Oz. It was kind of unreal. And I look to the right, and I see Bill Murray in a golf cart. And I just can't believe it. I can't believe that this is actually happening. And I run through the door, and I go through this glass building, and I tell the woman who I am, and I'm here to audition, and she points me in the direction of the cafeteria. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So I pass by the cafeteria. I go past the cafeteria, past the kitchen, and there's just this like little tiny door at the corner in the Sony lot. It looks like a place where you would put like the door looks like a place where you would put like the brooms and the cleaning products or something like that.
Closet?
It's just a little unassuming door. Sorry?
Oh, like the supply closet?
What's that?
Oh, I was saying the supply closet.
Yeah, it looked like exactly. It looked just like that. And there was nobody there. It was just chairs and a little red light. And I said to myself, oh, God, this is probably a casting call. There's probably not going to be anybody there.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just waiting around for like 10, 15 minutes. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm probably at the wrong place. And I'm panicking like crazy. Suddenly the lights goes off, and this younger gentleman walks out, who probably just had an audition and looks like he's had the worst time of his life. And walked out, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, what am I getting myself into?
Next.
And then a few minutes later, Vince Gilligan walks out. And I was surprised on how tall he was, and he was the nicest guy I've ever met.
Huh.
And he gives me a hug, welcomes me. Then Peter Gould, Melissa Bernstein, they all walk out, and I quickly realized they're the nicest people I've ever met.
Huh.
And everything from there goes really well.
That's awesome. That's an awesome story.
That's my screen test.
No, that had everything. They had suspense, action, Bill Murray in a golf cart. Like, come on, that's about as good as a story as you could have told.
Scary. It was because you'd imagine. I don't know. You'd imagine like bigger than life people.
Right.
And it's just their art is bigger than life. But as people, they're very genuine, very loving and grounded, and unassuming. And I've learned a lot working with these guys.
Well, that's great. And that's what everybody says too. Everybody that we speak with say that that the producers and such, like the whole team or the whole I guess the whole production the whole production team is just made up of the nicest people that you could possibly imagine, and that makes working on a series like Better Call Saul so much more so much more easy.
Oh yeah, and we've got an amazing crew. You know, not enough credit can be given to our crew. Our props department kind of calls us out and says, last episode you did it with your right hand. Are you right-handed or left? They'll come in and they'll participate into the creation of the character.
Yeah.
Jennifer Bryan, our costume designer. I mean, we have talks about these things, and everybody gives their input, and everybody's working together. And our DOP, Arthur Albert, it really is a family. I mean, it's just amazing.
That's awesome.
And we shoot in the same studio as they shot Breaking Bad.
Oh, nice.
See, consistency all around, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, what's that?
I said consistency all around.
Yeah, absolutely, man. From bottom to top to bottom. And Charlie Collier, who runs AMC. I mean, everybody, really. Really. We had Warren Buffett come visit us the other day.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. That was a trip.
So now do you just show up late whenever you feel like it because there's no more pressure, or?
What's that?
I said, do you show up late now whenever you feel like it because the pressure's gone, or?
No, not at all. I've never showed up late to anything. But I didn't know that this LA traffic thing was such a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
And it just added 20 minutes to the trip.
Yeah, when I interned in LA for 8 months, and I was 45 miles from the studio, and it was a 2.5-hour commute at the minimum.
Oh my God!
It's nuts.
It was just turn off into a goddamn bridge embankment kind of strenuous. Yeah.
Well, at least you had an excuse.
But I think that adrenaline rush helped me out in the audition room because I came in, I was so wired up, being late, running up in the studio, and my heart was pounding. I was 100 miles an hour the moment I walked in there. So maybe I was lucky that I was late. Maybe that helped in getting the part.
It good
right, it put you in the right state of mind.
Yeah, I was just adrenaline to the max.
I'll never forget, I had one time I was on TV, I had someone give me a chance to play some bass on this song that they had. They're like, all right, we got to be here downtown, the NBC station. I'm like, all right. I went to bed super early. I go to bed at 4 in the morning. I'm a musician. I play late. And I went to bed at midnight, which is going to bed at 6 o'clock for most people, I set my alarm. I had my phone alarm set, all this stuff. I had my lunch packed. I had my clothes set out. And all of a sudden, I kind of wake up and I'm like, oh, what time is it? At the clock. I had 15 minutes to be downtown Chicago, which in the morning is an hour and 15 minutes from where I live. I'm like, oh my God, I jumped up. I was freaking out. My wife's like, what's wrong? And she sees the clock. Oh my God. I'm like, that's it. I can't make it. I'm not going to make it. I took a shower. She ironed my clothes. I didn't need anything. I had people calling me all the way there. The parking garage, the address was wrong. There was no parking. I had to park somewhere else. I'm carrying all my gear. I had my amp, my bass, my cable bag. I'm dragging all this around downtown in January like a lost dog. And the security guard walks outside. He's like, hey man, are you late? I'm like, yeah. I'm about 45 minutes late, So I rush in there. I'm freaking out. I'm sweating. I'm packing up stuff. Everybody is just kind of hanging out. They're like, yeah, we got 15 minutes still. We kind of just, made sure that you were here an hour ahead of time. I'm like, oh my God, it's crazy.
Oh, wow. You got lucky. Yeah.
I got very lucky.
But I think the lesson to that is, whatever situation you find yourself in, keep your head, keep your cool. And, I think keep your cool.
Be more like Nacho. Full circle, baby.
I thought the world was going to end, but I didn't beat myself up. I just stayed positive throughout the whole thing. And trust me, 10, 15 minutes in a cab ride, knowing that you're late, it could feel like an hour. You're looking at your clock, and every minute feels like, oh my God, what am I doing? And you start thinking I'm never going to get this part. What did I do? And then the taxi driver's voice kind of echoes in my head. And I'm just like, oh man.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, we're gonna. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you again for coming on our podcast. I don't want to keep you too long. You're a busy man, but it's an absolute honor to have you on. It's all good, man. We hope we get to speak to you again in the future. And before I let you go, I have a buddy who calls himself a boy named Sue that wanted nothing more than a shout out from Micheal Mando. So is there any chance that you could say hi to a boy named Sue?
Absolutely. Hi, a boy named Sue. I hope you're doing wonderful and sending you much love.
That's awesome. That's totally going to make his day. I've had an absolutely awesome time chatting with you. Me and Dave have been super pumped for the past week, and we're super excited about Better Call Saul season 2 starting February 15th on AMC. Thank you so much for coming on. It's all good, man.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Michael. You have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. You too. Cheers.
Be sure to follow Nothing Important online at nothingimportantpodcast.com. Find us on iTunes, on Twitter at NotImportantPC, and you can also find us on Facebook. Nothing Important is recorded with help from Third City Sound in Joliet, Illinois. Thanks for being awesome.